Hey, what's up guys? It's Jordan from TeasersBooks, and today I'm going to be doing a book/series review on The Retribution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkins. This is the third and final book in the Mara Dyer trilogy, and it is a book that we have been waiting for a very long time. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about how I got this because it was cut off in my last video, so let's start with that. So I was walking around in my local bookstore in the YA section, and I'm walking over and I'm just looking around, and then all of a sudden I see this on the shelf next to the rest of the series, 2 weeks before its release date. I almost started hyperventilating in the YA section. I immediately bought the book, I went home, and I was going to start reading it, and I opened the first page, and it is signed by Michelle Hodkins. I can't. I was so happy. I finished it before anyone else got their hands on it. I read it so quickly. Chapters always seems to release the books before their release date. For example, I got Infinite Sea a week and a half before it released. I got this 2 weeks before it released. A bunch of people got Allegiant before it came out. I just think they don't have their facts straight about when books are supposed to be released. Anyways, back to the actual book, what I thought of it. The Retribution of Mara Dyer is the third and final book in the Mara Dyer trilogy. The book has been constantly pushed back and pushed back over and over again. We have waited, I don't know how long we waited for it. We've waited a very long time, over a year for it. And it's finally here, and I was so excited to read it, I picked it up immediately. Raced through it, it was a very, very good conclusion. Now, if you haven't heard or haven't read the Mara Dyer trilogy, I sincerely suggest that you do. It is a very fast-paced book series that is full of a bunch of mysterious, paranormal kind of stuff, and it's very different from most YA novels, which is why I think most people have connected with it so deeply. The Mara Dyer trilogy is about a girl named Mara Dyer, obviously, and one day she goes into an abandoned building with a few of her friends, and the building collapses, killing all 3 of her friends except for her. And because of this, she gets PTSD. And so while you're reading from her perspective, you don't know what she is seeing is real or fake. And she ends up meeting a girl named She ends up meeting a boy named Noah Shaw. He's probably one of the best fictional boyfriends ever. But anyway, and for some reason, death seems to follow wherever she goes, and she doesn't know why, and it's just them trying to figure out what is wrong with her and what is wrong with everything related to everything that happened that night in the building. If you haven't read it, read it. I'm not going to be spoiling The Retribution of Mara Dyer. Where do I even start? It picked up right where The Evolution of Mara Dyer left off, so it was very easy to jump right back into it after not reading the books for so long. I was contemplating on reading the second book again, but then just decided to try it out first, and I'm really happy I did because she re-explained everything in a way that made complete sense, which really helped considering it's been so long since the last book was released. The book had me constantly guessing and trying to figure out what was going to happen next. It also kept in the humor that was in the first 2 books, and I'm really happy she did that because the last book was quite serious. The book was a bit slow at some parts because I felt like not a lot was happening, and I did feel like in certain parts she kind of skipped over major scenes, like it would be like, oh, they went to 2 people's houses and now they're here. The book was really well written, just like the first 2. It was also still very scary and intense, just like the other 2 books. It was a paranormal read for a reason, and I thought that she did keep the paranormal aspect into the book very well. She also still flipped back and forth between Mara and that girl from India who you find out more about in this book. One thing that did really disappoint me though was the lack of certain characters in the book. For example, Noah Shaw, because everyone loves him, but also I really loved Mara's parents and Mara's family in general because I felt like it was one of the only books that really does touch on family, like a major aspect of family. And a lot of YA books don't even mention parents, or their parents aren't that important, and siblings are very important in this book as well. And not having them in the book as much, like they were in maybe 1 chapter, was kind of upsetting. I do think that the ending to the series was completely amazing though. It totally wrapped up the entire series. It was intense. It gave me chills, to be honest. Like, the ending of this book completely turned it around and made it wrap up perfectly. I don't know. It was definitely a 5 out of 5 star series for me and a 5 out of 5 star book. I highly suggest you pick up the 3rd book. It was well worth it. It was a great ending to the series, and I can't wait to read more from Michelle Hodkins because I think she can write really, really amazing literature. I really hope this gives you a feeling of what the last book is going to be like. And also, on my blog, audible.com sent me a snippet of the audiobook, a few chapters from the audiobook online. So if you want to check that out, I'll put the link below and you can listen and see kind of what the Retribution of Mara Dyer has to offer. So that was my first book review. Let me know what you think, if you want me to talk more spoilers or keep it as it is. And that's it for me. You can follow me on my Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and my blog. I'll put the links down below once again. And maybe subscribe and like this video if you want to see more book reviews and stuff like that. Thanks for watching and keep on reading, guys. The third and final book in the Retribution of Mara Dyer series. What? My bookshelves are kind of opposite because I moved down to the basement, so my books look all pretty. Books, 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 books. I'm gonna need another shelf soon. Probably. I don't know. Okay, bye.